Yevgeny Prigozhin's involvement in the Syrian conflict through his association with the Wagner Group has stirred substantial intrigue and scrutiny. Renowned for his ties to the Kremlin and colloquially referred to as Putin's chef due to his culinary enterprises and close relationship with Russian President Vladimir Putin, Prigozhin's multifaceted role transcends the culinary world. His alleged connection to the Wagner Group, a private military company, has thrust him into the heart of the Syrian conflict, where the group's activities have ignited controversy and global attention. At the center of this narrative is the Wagner Group, a shadowy paramilitary organization operating as a private military company with a conspicuous lack of official government affiliation. Originating from its involvement in the Ukrainian conflict, the Wagner Group gained notoriety for its covert operations in various conflict zones, including Syria. The group's modus operandi allows the Russian government to maintain plausible deniability while purportedly benefiting from its activities, a strategic element that has drawn the attention of geopolitical analysts and global observers alike. The enigmatic figure of Yevgeny Prigozhin, however, adds an additional layer of intrigue to this complex scenario. While Prigozhin has vehemently denied any direct connection to the Wagner Group, evidence suggests a possible financial conduit and resource provider for the group's operations. This role has sparked conjecture that Prigozhin might be facilitating communication and coordination between the Russian government and the Wagner Group, potentially amplifying his influence in the Syrian conflict. Within the context of the Syrian conflict, the Wagner Group's role has been both significant and contentious. Operating alongside pro-Assad forces, the group has engaged in combat operations against rebel factions and terrorist organizations. These activities have encompassed strategic offensives in crucial regions such as Aleppo and Palmyra. The group's involvement serves multiple objectives, including safeguarding Russian interests like military installations and energy resources, while simultaneously bolstering the regime of Bashar al-Assad, an enduring Russian ally. However, the Wagner Group's actions have been shadowed by allegations of human rights abuses and violations of international law. Reports of indiscriminate attacks on civilians, extrajudicial killings, and other transgressions have underscored the ethical and moral dilemmas posed by private military companies in modern warfare. Such concerns have intensified scrutiny of Russia's role in the Syrian conflict and, by extension, Prigozhin's involvement in supporting the Wagner Group's activities. It is important to acknowledge that due to the covert nature of private military companies and the Russian government's reluctance to acknowledge their operations, precise details about Prigozhin's connection to the Wagner Group remain largely speculative. Nevertheless, the convergence of Prigozhin's proximity to the Kremlin, his financial resources, and the Wagner Group's actions in Syria engender persistent questions about his potential role in shaping the conflict's trajectory. In summary, Yevgeny Prigozhin's purported engagement in the Syrian conflict through his potential ties to the Wagner Group highlights the intricate complexities of contemporary warfare. The Wagner Group's activities, whether directly linked to Prigozhin or not, underscore the evolving landscape where non-state actors, influenced by powerful governments, wield substantial influence in conflict zones. The resulting ethical and legal ramifications are emblematic of the broader discourse surrounding private military companies and their implications within the context of global conflicts. Yevgeny Prigozhin's role in the Syrian conflict through the Wagner Group has been a subject of considerable attention and speculation. Prigozhin, a Russian businessman with close ties to the Kremlin, is often referred to as Putin's chef due to his catering ventures and close relationship with Russian President Vladimir Putin. However, his involvement in the Syrian conflict goes beyond culinary endeavors, as he has been linked to the private military company known as the Wagner Group, which has played a controversial role in the conflict. The Wagner Group is a paramilitary organization that operates as a private military company, PMC, in various conflict zones around the world. It gained international notoriety for its involvement in the Ukrainian conflict before expanding its activities to other areas, including Syria. The group is known for its lack of official government affiliation, allowing the Russian government to maintain plausible deniability while benefiting from its operations. Prigozhin's alleged connection to the Wagner Group has raised suspicions about the nature and extent of his involvement in the Syrian conflict. While Prigozhin himself has denied any direct association with the group, there is evidence to suggest that he has provided financial support and resources to its operations. This has led to widespread speculation that he might be acting as a middleman between the Russian government and the Wagner Group, facilitating its activities in Syria. The Wagner Group's activities in Syria have been both significant and controversial. The group has been involved in various combat operations alongside pro-Assad forces, fighting against rebel groups and terrorist organizations. Its fighters are often deployed to areas with strategic importance, and they have reportedly been involved in offensives against rebel-held territories, including Aleppo and Palmyra. One of the key reasons for the Wagner Group's presence in Syria is to protect Russian interests in the region, including military installations and energy resources. Additionally, the group's involvement serves to bolster the Assad regime, which has been a long-standing ally of Russia. By providing military support to the Syrian government, the Wagner Group helps to maintain Russia's influence in the country and the broader Middle East. However, the Wagner Group's activities have come at a cost. The lack of official recognition and accountability has raised concerns about human rights abuses committed by its members. There have been reports of indiscriminate attacks on civilian populations, extrajudicial killings, and other violations of international law. These allegations have fueled criticism of Russia's involvement in the conflict and have raised questions about Prigozhin's role in supporting such activities. It's important to note that information regarding Prigozhin's exact role and level of involvement with the Wagner Group remains largely speculative due to the secretive nature of private military companies and the Russian government's reluctance to openly acknowledge their operations. However, the combination of Prigozhin's close ties to the Kremlin, his financial resources, and the Wagner Group's actions in Syria have led to persistent allegations about his role in the conflict. In conclusion, Yevgeny Prigozhin's alleged role in the Syrian conflict through the Wagner Group underscores the complex dynamics of modern warfare, where private actors with ties to powerful governments can exert significant influence in conflict zones. The Wagner Group's activities in Syria, whether directly tied to Prigozhin or not, raise important ethical and legal questions about the use of private military companies and their impact on international conflicts.